last weekend I raced my first triathlon of my triathlon season at the Llanelli Super Series, and it was my first Super Series race, which was a super cool experience. It was super great to start off my triathlon season, see where my fitness was, and also kind of my first race in that level up racing, kind of seeing what the level's like, seeing how I fit in. And in this video I'm going to be taking you through the week before the race, how my training led up to the race, how the taper went, and then I will be talking you through how the race went, talking you through how I was feeling, how it was turning out, how the tactics played out, how the race went, all about the race. And it should be a good video. Hopefully it'll be similar to the last one in terms of most of it is just me here talking, so kind of a bit like a video podcast. So hopefully you enjoy it, hopefully you find it interesting, entertaining, and maybe you'll learn something. So it should be good fun. So let's jump right in on Monday the 3rd of May, a week before the race. And so far this season, since I've been started coached by Grant, our setup for the taper week has been a rest day on the Monday before. And so far that has felt really good. I really like how it plays out. I really like how it feels. I like how kind of gets rid of the fatigue. Your fatigue scores on Training Peak plummets right down, and your form, it goes right up. And yeah, it's good, and it's nice because taking a rest day a bit later on can kind of leave you feeling a bit sluggish, but having it a week before has the benefits of getting rid of the fatigue, but also not feeling like you've not been doing any training and you're feeling sluggish. So that was the rest day. I can't really remember what I did. It was probably nothing. Just that was the point of the rest day. Lots of resting. So as I said, great rest day. And now on to Tuesday. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning. It is about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I am just about to go out for a swim. Today I've got a short 45-minute swim and I'm between two things on the bike. Grant put on a 1 hour LT1 bike session, so just a fairly easy bike session, or I could do a 1.5 cycle on the track, which is a session every Tuesday. It's a crit racing session, some chain ganging, some efforts, which is usually pretty hard. I could go slightly easier because obviously we're only, how many days out from race day are we now? We're Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, four days out from race day. Yeah, to be fair, that's not many. Maybe I'll go with the easy on the bike. But before that, I've got a video call with Grant, and so I can talk through what he thinks about that. So on that video call, we're just going to talk through some plans for nutrition, some tactics, some how I'm feeling, what the timing is going to be like, and just any more advice that he's got other than that. So I'm going to go out for the swim. I'm also going to get a haircut, and I've got some things to post and other random bits like that, other random errands. But yes, going to get all that done, come back, video call with Grant, then cycle either on the turbo trainer or out on the track. So yeah, Tuesday's swim, I've got all the information here on my trusty notebook. It ended up being 3,600 meters. It was an aerobic swim, and the main set was 10 times 100, 15 meters fast and 75 meters steady. So again, it's mostly easy, mostly aerobic stuff with a few bits of fast in it, but only 15 meters. So getting the feeling of swimming fast, but also not the fatigue. Then in the evening, I did a cycle session. Right, so it is now the evening, and I'm on the turbo trainer. I got the swim done earlier, and also the video call with Grant. As I said earlier, the swim was okay. I wasn't feeling quite as good as I'd hoped. I was hoping to be feeling really, really fresh, and I was feeling kind of fresh. So, nothing to complain about, nothing to overthink. I guess, yeah, definitely not worth thinking about. Hopefully I'll be feeling better for the race pace swim tomorrow. And the video call with Grant was great. We talked through nutrition, tactics, race plans, all that kind of stuff pre-race, which is always really great pre-race to talk through thoughts, feelings, and tips from Grant. He has had lots of experience racing, so it is great to get his bits of wisdom. So I'm going to get this session done now. It is an hour and 6-minute session. Nothing too crazy. It's an LT1 session. The main set is 2 times 20 minutes at 230 watts with 3 minutes kind of very easy between those. So not a super easy session. It's kind of a little bit difficult, but nothing hard at all. All fairly easy, which is good. Get a bit of load in the legs, but also nothing that's going to be tiring or sore. So let's get this done, and I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is some more race pace stuff. It's a race pace swim and a race pace run. So that's exciting. Feeling good. 4 days out from race day. It comes up so quickly. Like, it was feeling like it was miles away a couple of days ago, and then now it's feeling like it's in just a couple of days' time. So, feeling good, feeling excited. Nerves haven't hit me yet. So as I said, that cycle session, its main set was 2 times 20 minutes, and that was really good. I was feeling super fresh. That pace was feeling really comfortable. It felt like I was pushing on, but also not really feeling fatigued. The legs were feeling fresh, and I was feeling great. And that was really helpful for my confidence. I was feeling like it's always good to have a point before the race week where you're like, where you get kind of the idea of like the fact that you are fresh. You know, you've done something. For me, it was these 20 minutes at 250 watts that felt just unbelievably comfortable. I am fresh, and you don't want to come across me when I'm fresh. Yeah, it's really good mentally to do something before race week, in the race week, that gets you that confidence, that feeling of feeling fresh. Now on to Wednesday, and the setup for Wednesday was 2 race pace sessions, a race pace swim and a race pace run. Good morning, it is now Wednesday morning. We are 3 or 4 days out from race day, depending on how you count it, and I am feeling okay. Not feeling amazing, still feeling a little bit tired. Not sure why, but we'll be all right. That's probably just some mental stuff. It doesn't really matter too much for my performance, I don't think. Today the training consists of a 45-minute race pace run and a 45-minute race pace swim. I'm going to do the run pretty soon, and then I'm going to do the swim this evening, because the way the timings work with the pool swim at, you can only swim really early or really late on a Wednesday, so I didn't fancy getting up early this morning, so doing that this evening. And I can't remember exactly what that session is. It'll be some race pace efforts, I'd guess, probably 100 meters race pace repeated a few times, and the race pace run is 3 times 2 minutes at race pace. And I'm not 100% sure what pace I'm going to do the race pace at for the run. I'm thinking I'm going to be optimistic. I'm hoping that I will be able to get in a group on the bike, which would mean that the light's going to be a bit easier. So I would be able to run a bit faster off the bike than I did at the PAs. So I think I'm going to go for a 3:15 per K. I think. Which I think is optimistic, but I think it's better to be optimistic than under-optimistic. Pessimistic. So yeah, going to get that done. And yeah, I'll talk to you when I'm there. Right, so that is the run session done. It was okay. Wasn't phenomenal, wasn't exceptional. It was okay. I wasn't feeling great, but the numbers actually ended up being okay. The heart rate was in a good place. The pace was in a good place. I paced the efforts pretty well, I think. I can't remember exactly what I did because it's on my phone and I'm filming on my phone, but I think from memory, the paces of the 3 2-minute efforts were 3:14 per K, 3:13 per K, 3:12 per K, which is nice progression. It's good. And yeah, I wasn't feeling particularly energetic. I'm feeling a bit tight in my chest. I'm not sure why that is. But hopefully I can kind of ignore those and that'll go away. And at least the numbers were good. Kind of interesting, when the numbers aren't good but you're feeling good, you kind of are told to ignore the numbers. And then when the feelings are bad but the numbers are good, you ignore the feelings. So yeah, it's all mental. But that's good, get that done. And then swimming this evening. It's just a 1,900 metre session this evening with some race pace bits, as I said earlier. So yeah, gonna get home, recover, gotta walk the dog, do some other things, and then talk to you later. So the race pace swim went well. The main set was 6 times 100 metres at race pace, and the total swim distance was 1,900 metres. And the 6 intervals, I seem to remember the lane was pretty busy, so it was pretty difficult to pace them evenly, but the paces were 1:22, 1:17, 1:22, 1:24, 1:24, 1:25. So pretty good pacing. The 1:17 was maybe a bit too quick. The other ones were about what I'd be hoping for at race pace. That was the race pace that I did at the performance assessment swim, and that was the pace I was hoping to go in the Llanelli swim. And I was kind of thinking, hopefully the pace will be similar. The wetsuit obviously helps with buoyancy, it makes you go quicker, but then also not swimming in a pool, swimming in open water without the lanes and without the pushing off each end of the lane makes you go a bit slower. So I was hoping it would even out to go at a similar pace. That was Wednesday. Those 2 sessions were done. And on to Thursday. The theme of Wednesday was 2 race pace sessions. The theme of Thursday was 2 shakeout sessions. Morning, it is Thursday. We are now 2 days out from race day. It's getting close. I've got a few last things to do today because we are leaving tomorrow morning for Llanelli. It's about a 5-hour drive from here. So we'll be leaving in the morning. And today the training consists of a short, easy swim, which is, I think, about 1,600 meters. There's 2 100-meter at race pace efforts. The rest is all just super easy. Lots of drills, just kind of freshening up, feeling good in the water before it'll be the last time I swim before the race. So that'll be some good practice. Just feeling super easy, getting a feel for the water, as I said. And then a 20-minute easy run is what else I am doing, I believe. Let me double check. Yeah, 20-minute easy run is the other thing, and that is also the last run I'll be doing before the race. So a few last things before the race. I also need to go get a caffeine gel from a shop in town. I might get it today. I'm not sure if I have time. If I don't, I'll have to go tomorrow morning, and I'll get that. Yeah, it'll be a Science Sport caffeine gel. I had one before the performance assessments, and that really hit me after the race. Actually, I had it 15 minutes before the race, and after the race I was buzzing. So I think caffeine has a good effect on me, but this time I'm going to have it half an hour before the race, so hopefully during the race I'm going to really feel the effects of the caffeine. It can lower your perceived rate of exertion, so if it does, that's great, because I can guarantee that my RPE is going to be 10 out of 10, so hopefully that means I can go a bit harder with a bit of a lower RPE. But first of all, I'm going to go for the swim, get that done. Hopefully I can get some good 100-meter intervals, just 2 at race pace. Hopefully that'll feel good. Hopefully the lane won't be as busy as it was yesterday. Hopefully I'll be able to do that uninterrupted. So I'm going to go get that done, and I'll talk to you later. So a shakeout swim I did was 1,500 meters, and then I did a shakeout run, and that was in the evening. I was packing for leaving on Friday, and that just took so much longer than I expected. So I ended up doing the shakeout run in the evening quite late. I think it was like 9:30, 9:45, and that was just 20 minutes, and it was 3.53k. So super easy, super steady, and that was good. And again, I was feeling strong. My heart rate was staying really, really low. Again, all signs were good for going into Llanelli. And now on to Friday. Good morning. It is now Friday. Race day is tomorrow, and it is currently just after 9, and we are getting ready to leave for Llanelli. And I have pretty much all packed up. Just need to get my bike and stuff ready. All packed up, all getting ready to go, leaving fairly soon. And I'll talk to you later. So, Friday. We ended up leaving at about 10 o'clock in the morning. It was about a 5-hour drive, 5.5-hour drive, driving constantly, but obviously you take breaks. So we got to Llanelli at about 6 in the evening, and we went straight to the centre of Llanelli where the race was happening. We parked by the dock. We parked by the dock where the race was happening, and it was great to see the course. I did a bit of course recce, just 20 minutes, doing 2 laps of the course, 2 5k laps, and that was good. It was great to see the course beforehand. I would not have liked to race on a course not knowing what it's going to be like, so I got a sense of what the route is like, what the road surface is like, and I also noticed how windy it was. It's by the coast. It's all exposed. There's no protection really anywhere, and that was concerning because often, as you know, I am not a good swimmer, so I'm going to be on my own, and wind makes the benefit of being in a group so much higher. So I tried not to think about that, and I tried to look at the weather, and it said that it wasn't going to be too windy, so I was hoping that would come true. And then we drove from there back to the Airbnb. It was about 20 minutes, and then we got all of that set up. I got an early night, slept decently, and then on to Saturday. It is race day. So, Saturday, I needed to get up at 9 o'clock. The race was a 2:30 race. Another afternoon race, so lots of time, so waking up as late as possible. I ended up waking at 8:30 before my alarm. It's race day, of course. It's difficult to lie in. But, again, I was feeling fairly relaxed. We went for a walk in the forest in the morning to walk the dog, which was nice. It was a nice relaxing thing. Just a super short walk. We were there from 10:30 till 11:15, but not much that was walking. A lot of that time I spent sat in the cafe. So great way to not think about the race, thinking about other things like walking the dog, but then also staying off the feet in the cafe. And then we drove back to the centre of Llanelli where the race was happening at about 11:15. It was another 20-25 minute drive. And then at 11:30 I had my pesto pasta, 3 hours before the race. That is a classic meal for me. I like it. It helps me feel good. Lots of carbs, and then the 3 hour mark before the race is the best time for me to eat, and I think that's generally the standard most people go by. And then all went smoothly, setting everything up. There was plenty of time, so that was great. Then 1:30, I had an hour before the race. I had my banana and gel, and then at 2 o'clock I had caffeine gel, and I had a caffeine gel before the performance assessments that felt really good, so I tried to use the same one again. But this time it was warm, it was gross. It didn't go down very easily. Kind of felt a bit sick. So I think in the next couple of races I'm going to be using an energy drink. I think that's probably going to go down easier. I can keep it nice and cold, and it's also a similar amount of caffeine. So that's something I learned from that race. I don't think it really affected the race at all. Just generally before the race, it's not particularly nice feeling sick, trying to get down a gel. So again, just a minor thing. And then 2:20, it was a 10-minute swim familiarization, and that was good. It was pretty crazy, actually. It was pretty chaotic. There was one beach where everyone was practicing their beach starts, so you'd run in, beach start, and you'd try to turn around to come out to do another beach start practice, and there's people coming at you. So it was chaotic, trying to dodge people, but then that was all smoothly, and we lined up in order to go onto the beach start for the race. And I ranked pretty highly for going into this race, because so far, before this race, all there was the performance assessments. So anyone who didn't do the performance assessments didn't have a ranking, so they were ranked automatically lower. So I got a pretty early choice of where I wanted to start. I chose to start near the left-hand side. That was what me and Grant decided was best based on the course, and most people felt the same. So it was in a big bunch to start off with on the left, and then obviously it all filled out. But I got a good position. And then it was time to start, and the beach start went pretty smoothly. I had a good run into the first buoy, but obviously I'm a bit of a slower swimmer, so I was in the back, but I was in the group. But as soon as we went past the first buoy, the chaos kind of pushed me towards the back, and then I kind of dropped off the back of the front group, which obviously is not ideal. And then the rest of the swim was a bit of a grind. I was with one other person. It was all pretty tough, and I ended up coming out last. With one other person just behind him, but I was the last one out of the water. I ended up doing the swim in 12 minutes and 5 seconds, which obviously is much slower than I was planning. I think the course is a little bit long. I don't think that's just me coping. Based on the GPS and based on the times of a lot of people, I think it was a bit slow. So obviously not ideal coming out last, but mentally I kind of knew I was going to be very close to the back, so didn't really have to think about it that much, just knew there was a job to be done. So, getting onto the bike, going to T1. I didn't have a great T1, feeling a bit dizzy, but out on the bike and set off pretty hard. Was with a few other people. One of the guys I was with had a bit of a stinker coming onto the bike. He kind of mounted his bike and then fell off. And then onto the bike, I was all by myself after I overtook a couple of people, and there was a long gap to any form of group. And basically, the rest of the cycle was a bit of a classic story. There was 2 big groups up the road. It was super windy, so those groups had a huge advantage on anyone on their own. I overtook a few people, but no one that I would be able to work with. And then just pushed hard. Just didn't feel like I had that much power, and just wasn't going that fast at all, really. So I was really out of the race. I was near the back, overtook 4 or 5 people, and wasn't very motivated. Was feeling pretty annoyed, pretty frustrated, as I said, pretty unmotivated, pretty demotivated. So, yeah, that was not ideal. And then on the 4th lap, kind of managed to push on a little bit towards the end, kind of just like trying to make the most of the race, despite the fact that I was nowhere near any groups and really stood no chance at that point. And then onto the run. I was, as I said, very frustrated going to T2. I had another frustrating transition. In the PAs, it was a problem with my helmet in this race. In this race, there was someone who had basically racked their bike in my position. So I initially went to rack my bike in the person's position that racked their bike in my position because there was a space to the right. So that seemed to make sense to me in the moment. But the technical official was immediately on me and was like, hey, that's got to be in your position. So I basically had to grab their bike, move it over to their position, and then put my bike on. So wasted a few seconds there. So I am over 2 in the fastest T2 race of this season, which is a race that I always quite enjoy competing in, but I've had 2 stinkers. Hopefully the next race I can have a bit of a better one. And then onto the run, my frustration kind of fueled me. It didn't matter that I wasn't in a group, I just pushed hard. And it was pretty tough to stay motivated throughout the run because I was on my own, but I made up a few positions, caught 5 or 6 people probably, and ended up running an 18:02, which it felt much faster than that. It was quite hot, so that would have slowed it down a bit. And I'm sure if I was racing other people, actually racing them, I'd be able to run faster. So that is the race. Total time 1 hour 5 minutes and 26 seconds. 34th in the tier 2 race out of 47. So again, not a great position, and that puts me 38th in the Super Series rankings. So again, kind of frustration mostly feeling this race. Again, similar feeling to the PAs, knowing if I had a better swim, it would put me in so much of a better position, knowing that my bike strength, if I'm in a group, is going to really carry me to a good result. First Super Series race out of the way, and that's really, that's what matters, getting that first race done, knowing how it's feeling. It's the first race of the season, you can't expect great things. Hopefully the next one I can learn from my mistakes, and also, just kind of know what's up a bit more, be able to expect different things about the strength of the field, kind of know what to expect. So, that being said, I have had a really good couple of weeks training, 2 weeks training since the race, feeling super motivated. I didn't feel too sore after the race, so pretty much straight back to training. Had my biggest ever swim week last week, which is the week after the race. So, feeling good, feeling motivated. Ready for my next race, which is Blenheim Palace in 2 weeks' time. It's the Sprint National Championships for the age group. It's the Sprint Age Group National Championships, so that should be a strong field. It's another draft legal race. It's another race where if I can get together a good swim, I think I should be in a great position. So really, I'm feeling optimistic. I've got some Super Series that I've applied to. I'm confident I should get into at least one more. I'm hopeful I can get into more than that. So I'm hoping that I can somehow fluke a good swim, or just improve my swim somehow in the next couple of months. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed. I hope that gave you a bit of an insight into how I was feeling about the race. I hope that that'll be useful to look back on. I hope that was a good video. If you did enjoy, like and subscribe and all that jazz. Lots of videos coming soon. I've got another week's training coming right up in a couple of days' time. And I'm going to do another video going into the week of the Blenheim Palace race and take you along with me for that race. So, should be good. If you did enjoy it, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have any questions. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.